Welcome back to my channel, Libra. Much love and thanks out to my existing subscribers and all those that are new to my channel. I always appreciate your time and your support. So just a quick reminder, these are general readings, can't speak to everybody, different life stories for everybody, and you're all at different stages of your life. So please allow for flexibility on the time frames. I'm jumping ahead a bit here. So this is actually a reading for May 2021, career, money, finance, as well as general energies. So I just thought I would try something new. I'm sort of experimenting a bit here. Anyway, I thought I would do a reading with just the regular playing cards and the 3 oracles on this one. I will be following up with another video for May because I find sometimes there's additional energies that want to come through that might be a little more broad spectrum. But for this particular reading, I am focusing on using just the regular playing cards as well as the Sharina Star fortune reading cards. So I will be using, as I say, I will be doing another video for May 2021 for the month general reading as well. And those will be with the Oracle decks and the Rider-Waite that I traditionally do. And then I'll also be doing the usual reading for career, money, finance specifically with my other decks also. So they will be separate videos. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know I'm doing something a little non-traditional for me. So, but I will follow up with the traditional decks that I use in the coming months. So first card out is Proposal, followed by Coffin, and the Fool. So starting out with Proposal, it does speak to a romantic or a business opportunity that is indicated. And with Coffin, it's a natural ending abound, or natural endings abound, and to take care with your health. And we also have the Fool card. So have the courage to embrace, challenge, and take risks. And sorry, be adventurous. I'm a little blind here. Anyway, so I just wanted to start out with these 3 cards because with this combination, it actually seemed really appropriate with the cards that I drew from just from the traditional regular playing card deck. So, so the first card speaks to some kind of a new business deal or a potential opportunity for others with that Proposal card. And it certainly can speak to a long-term alliance, committed relationship, loving relationship, business partnership, anything along that line. But it is strongly highlighted this month. Anything that deals with, a new business deal, potential opportunity, long-term alliance, again, committed relationship, business partnership. So there is a building of relationships with this card and making connections, generally new ones. There can be gains with money, career, or new projects. And again, money-making ideas, everything sort of falls under the gamut of this card, and that is to be coming up this month. So the next card following is the Coffin. So the Coffin is some kind of long-awaited connection, opportunity, or just that you're overall waiting for something that you're, likely to be quite passionate about. And again, whether that's on the personal front or the material front, career path, whatever it is for you, or passion project that you're really trying to, get started and take off. But either way, there is some kind of a delay or a sense around that. The Coffin card, that there's an anxiety or some kind of, concern that it'll be delayed, or that you're going to be afraid that you're not going to attain it. So, and again, this also seems to be in around a personal relationship, business relationship. As I say, all of those things sort of fall under that same gamut, but they may have there's also some kind of a sense of a heartbreak that's coming through. So whether this is heartbreak from the past and then it's somehow being healed in some way, but because there are some cards that kind of speak to that, but it could have been some kind of toxicity, with this Coffin card, heartbreak, toxicity, or anything that you're just overly concerned about. It's really more or less a card of worry, about a dream or a love or something that you found difficult, and you're just afraid that it's not going to be attained in some way. So there was challenges around whatever this particular thing is for you. Okay, so following that, we have the Fool card. So the Fool card is some kind of a long-awaited connection, opportunity, or just that you're overall waiting for something that you're, likely to be quite passionate about. And again, whether that's on the personal front or the material front, career path, whatever it is for you, or passion project that you're really trying to, get started and take off. But either way, there is some kind of a delay or a sense around that. The We also have the Fool card. So that's unlimited potential, of course, and, taking a leap of faith despite your fears of heading into this unknown territory. This is where you really need to take that step forward and get out of your own way. Be bold, be brave, step out of your comfort zone, and travel is also indicated here. So this is a card of you having the ability, the strength, and the courage to reinvent yourself and learn more skills, or find love or improve yourself, whatever that is for you. But it's also that new way forward. You're discovering a new way of living. This card can also represent a new job for some of you. For others, again, it's an exciting new opportunity that's coming in. But either way, you're stepping up to the plate, and you know and while doing so, you may as well look and present your best, so as though your future might depend on it. So it might be worthy of your time and attention to also make sure that you're prepared in the ways that you can be for this particular situation as it resonates for you, whether it's business opportunity or on the love front, or some kind of long-term alliance that seems to be quite relevant for you. Okay, so the next card's out. As I said, these are just the regular playing cards, but I am kind of mixing it up a little bit with the cards. I've kind of gone back and forth, so I might have to pull forward as I go through. But with the regular playing cards, a lot of the same messages are being reiterated as was with the fortune cards, the fortune reading cards. The message that I got from the regular playing deck was that some of you will be making preparations toward a trip. And that card comes through with the Eight of Clubs. So just to show you, I have pulled quite a few here. But I'm just going to pull them forward here as needed. So rather than dance around with too many of them in my hand. So okay, so the Eight of Clubs here is where we're starting. So this is about making preparations to take some kind of a trip as it relates around increasing your income. And there's a lot of cards in around kind of new beginnings here with, the Ace of Diamonds, and certainly relates around connections with the Two of Hearts. But there's more than 1, 2 coming out here. But I'll, again, go through those as we go through on the reading. But again, traveling for a new job comes through. It can also be relating around increasing your income. This might involve you taking a trip with a partner, or meeting up with a partner, or meeting up with a business alliance. However, that again, relates around your situation. But you're making preparations in the month of May, and there's definitely a feeling around a new opportunity that's coming through here. And I suspect it's going to open some doors for you. Or at least it's intended to, because of the position of the person that you're meeting up with. So there was also some degree of energy around this being a project or a position that you're very much interested in, and this may involve getting into a partnership with someone, as I said, that is at a distance. You could be, in communications with this person quite long before the actual trip itself, because there seems to be a lot of back and forth communication. But again, it feels like it could be more so on a business front. Personal front could also be relative, but you're connecting with someone that you're aligned with in a project or hobby or something that could bring expansion in some direction that you're passionate about. But it feels very collaborative and well supported. So a lot of the cards of collaboration, that came through were certainly with the Seven of Diamonds there. And we also had we've got a lot of threes that are coming through here also. So to me, there's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of creativity, there's a lot of expansion that is around this energy of this person or this situation. But it feels as well that, because of the Six of Clubs energy that's coming through here also, that this is at a distance. So again, a lot of preparations and planning going into this trip, or in some kind of meeting on the other end, wherever this trip is being organized. But I feel this trip comes after a time where you felt some level of burnout, and that came through with the Three of Spades here. So with the Three of Spades, I just feel as though there was overwhelm, anxiety, or something that has placed you in a position where there was a great deal of demand on you. So whether of a personal nature or in business, it feels like this trip is a welcome and invigorating escape and very important to accommodate for, because it's about your self-care here, not just an emptying of the mind. It's restorative on many levels for you. It's also There's also a strong feeling of there being a level of intimacy with this trip and this connection for some. So again, maybe because it's a passion project, or maybe you're just feeling very close to the people that you're connecting with. But either way, there is some kind of familiarity with the trip for sure, as though you've been there before. But for all of you, there is some element that seems to be unexpected, which is bringing about the suddenness for this holiday. And there's a definite feeling that you're enjoying yourself there, but there's also, that Three of Clubs energy that comes through here with this trip, that indicates that, that there may be a need for some kind of compassion or to remain principled here, or that you or another is being selfless in some way. There, because there seemed to be some kind of a charitable energy that was also coming through here. So I don't know if you're going to some kind of charity event or somehow surrounded by somebody who is quite a philanthropist, or however it resonates again for you, but it seems to operate well with that charitable card, this Three of Clubs. But you might be in a situation where you need to act with restraint and try to understand where another is coming from to best serve the situation. So maybe there's a lot of heated tempers or a lot of emotion, and your best stands in this situation would be to remain balanced and with some restraint and compassion. So we also have the Two of Diamonds that's coming up here. So the Two of Diamonds speaks to, any kind of exciting risk, whether emotional or otherwise. It's a card of contractual agreements as well, and agreements in business. If it's between lovers, it would represent more of a long-standing connection. But we also had following that, the Six of Diamonds. So the Six of Diamonds can represent more of a media card, and some of you really are being seen here on a larger scale of, some kind of larger magnitude. I'm not sure how that plays out, but maybe there is a group gathering or something along that line, or maybe there's a lot of people that are checking you out in some social media way. But there's a need to really perform here or act on your best behavior to enable to make something happen anyway. It's essential that you make an impression on someone or advance forward in some way. So really put your best foot forward. So for those where travel is not in lieu of work, where you're actually just heading out for a job because it's part of the position you're in, there's some kind of other reason for that travel that may not be as enticing. Um, it feels like because there's something unexpected around this with the tower moment here, you're using this tower moment to your advantage on other levels nonetheless. So meaning if you're traveling for one reason, you're making the best of the situation by way of enjoying the time away as both a holiday as well as exploring the area for situations of gain or rebalancing with a more open mindset. But again, wherever this journey is leading to travel, I feel that you've been here before because you seem to be in good company around those that you have support and engagement. But there is definitely a connection central to the month of May that's a business or a romantic partnership or a strong alliance between a friend or a new alliance. And whatever this is for you, travel that you are at the very least preparing for in May, whether you actually take the trip in May, it may resonate, more so into June, because the cards that were coming up again with the eight spoke to more of a preparation energy in May. But some of you may actually take the trip in May, as I said, but it could stem further into June for others. But again, it's still revolving around contracts with the two. There's some kind of negotiations that are taking place, and I really feel I'm speaking to a select group of you that are preparing for something likely right now that could lead you in this direction later. So again, this could be revolving around some kind of charitable event or philanthropist or something that you're attending that is around another kind of event where there's maybe a kind of donation that's suggested around the event or around a person or a situation, again, that you're attending. It could be a situation that may be unexpected, as I mentioned earlier, that is creating the consideration to travel, but it feels as though you're making the best of the situation, as I mentioned, by combining other elements into the trip. So the Two of Diamonds represents some kind of unexpected news here, which is really that Tower moment. And that could be around job, money, an unfortunate situation, where travel is required. I'm just reiterating some of the cards here, just to clarify. But again, there was that Six of Diamonds, which speaks to that charitable situation, but it also plays out that someone is providing you with possibly some kind of a gift or leeway in a situation, or maybe you're being urged to have patience with another and offer some kind of kindness or exchange of goodwill. But this card is primarily one of having a positive outlook going forward anyway. So however that comes out for you. There is also some form of a new beginning here with the 10. The Ten of Clubs is considered to be a magician card, really. So it certainly indicates a positive phase with all factors present for success in whatever surrounds this new beginning. And again, some of you it's going to take place in May, but there's still so many preparations in May, it could very well go into June for others. So the tens are the magicians, and that is about the balance of all the roles that an individual has played in life and lessons learned, to expand your knowledge. So that allows the magician to move in many directions, as the situation dictates. So it's all about balance, the forces of energy, mastering the ability to be able to bring bursts of energy forward as you need it, or to be compassionately slowing down the energy when that's required. But it's about knowing how to regulate that energy around a situation or around a person and having some secure boundaries around that energy so that you're really in control of how it's being directed. But there is wisdom and mastery with the 10 of Pentacles, or sorry, 10 of Clubs, as it would be with the Magician card. So it's a card of discipline, and it's certainly some kind of investment that you will be required to put forward to bring about this balance. So for some, finding this balance refers to juggling time and energy in the workspace. For others, it may focus more primarily on the emotional front, but there is a certain kind of mastery of your skills here. Whether that's your emotions, making sure that you're operating from a secure foundation, that you're passionate enough to make the necessary changes as called for to meet this new challenge or this new beginning. So you're being asked to think about these things because they will be necessary for you when you're prompted to act at a later date. So we also have that followed very closely by the Nine of Clubs. So the Nine of Clubs, of course, nines are usually about, a completion or getting close to a completion, whereas tens are where you actually have completed something here. But because these two are close together, I feel that you're close to some kind of finish and ready to begin something new, some new challenge, some new level of challenge. But the Nine of Clubs is also a card of leadership. So you might be taking the lead or following somebody's lead, as I say, because it's so close to the 10 of clubs. But I feel that for many of you, it's you taking a more leadership role. You're taking charge of your destiny here. And again, there might be an element of risk associated with a contract or a negotiation that you're going to have to rely on your intuition to redirect you away from, or just to be smart about what it is that you're looking at here, because the Nine of Clubs is referencing the Hermit and in the Rider-Waite deck and in the traditional tarot. So this card is intended to connect you to the world and not just to go within and connect to self. It warns against following goals under false pretenses, or false reasons. For example, only going after something because there's material gain involved. You really want to be more in line with this calling. You really want to engage with as much of the material or as much of the purpose as you can, because to me, it really feels like it's a calling. So there's some examples of dancing with all the parts of the journey and not focusing just on the journey solely for monetary gain, as I mentioned, or you could also relay that to the case of love. Don't let love serve you, but become the greater energy that it encompasses, so that it's a reciprocated, mutual, immersive kind of energy. But it's also a time where you can trust your intuition here with that Nine of Clubs showing up. But wisdom and lessons have been learned from the practical level with the Nine of Clubs, and there are tools here. These are things that you've added to your own resources, and this is where you are now able to draw upon, and apply these practical principles that give you a feeling of having a deep emotional resource or well to draw upon, and it's at your disposables there, sorry, at your disposal. And you're able to gain real satisfaction from, whatever efforts you're putting forward, um, your time and energy into this month. But you're relying on the availability of either, being able to read people better, or being more intuitive, and understanding how to cope with the situation better emotionally. Maybe it stands out for you that you have a clear understanding of what's needed in a situation, where emotional control or a strategy might be required here. However that resonates for you, but you're using your intuition in a very strategic way, I would say. I feel that you're surrounded by people, as I mentioned earlier, that are like-minded in their thinking. And although you may have new challenges here, there are victories to be had with this new scale of progress that puts you a step closer in the direction of your intentions. And there's certainly some positive outcomes that arise from the trip that you seem to be preparing for, as I said, in May, which may again take place in June or shortly thereafter for others. But in short, to recap, there were cards that spoke to some gain materially in this month. It could be indicating that there's more money available for you to be able to take this trip, or that you're gaining some kind of opportunity that will allow you to feel more abundant in around the trip. But it feels like for a lot of you, there's some kind of opportunity either way, or some kind of a gain, maybe even just a resource here in the month of May that creates a sense of ease financially around you. The last card out was the King of Diamonds. So the King of Diamonds is somebody who represents an authority, could be male, female, doesn't have any specific gender, but it's someone who's generally quite sharp. They're really perceptive, and it could represent someone in the military or a businessman or woman, but it's someone who could wear a uniform, in fact. But either way, it's somebody who, can be impatient but fiercely loyal. But at the other end of that spectrum, they could be quite vain and demanding. So it is somebody that you are coming into contact with in the month of May, or that you're in communications with in the month of May. But either way, it's someone that you're going to encounter with these attributes. It can also suggest that you are this person, but I feel for many of you that this is someone that you're meeting, and that it refers to looking for opportunities, and finding ways to overcome these new challenges and these opportunities. Meeting the requirements of these opportunities. You're finding ways to overcome the new challenge because there's some newness around, like new beginning here starting as well for you in the month of May. But again, this king is often in control of great wealth, riches, again, whether it's male or female, it seems to be someone of influence, that you're coming into contact with, or that you've met online, that represents as some kind of authority. Maybe you're getting advice from this person, or maybe it's, going for some kind of a job interview, or some kind of just a connection period, that an alliance that might be able to help you along on your own journey. But this is considered the card of the spinning coin. So what that means is it's money that is influencing you, someone else's money that is influencing you. This person has, again, real influence in the world, but the outcome of this union somehow, this person of power and influence and wealth is poignant. It's significant to you. It doesn't really have a certain outcome. It doesn't indicate that one way or the other that there's going to be a positive outcome. When I go to do, another reading with the other oracle cards and get clarification, maybe it will flesh out those details. But with the cards that I've pulled today, it doesn't indicate whether or not that connection is a certain one. It just is a very significant one. And it is going to somehow depend on how you present yourself to this person as to where this connection goes. So that's what I have for you, Libra, with regular playing cards deck. I will be following up with other videos, as I mentioned earlier, that will be with my more traditional decks, and it will go further into some of the details with the Rider Waite that we weren't able to get from this particular deck. But I wanted to experiment with some new formats and decks this year, and I'll certainly be using my traditional Oracle decks, and the Rider Waite. In the coming videos, and certainly I will do another one for May, but I will still be doing my career and money video for the month of May in the coming weeks. So stay tuned, stay safe, and keep moving forward.